Hey everyone, it's Desiree, and I'm here for Spellbinders again. This time I'm showcasing the amazing Paper Grace die set kit of the month for May of 2019. So this is an absolutely, she did it again. The details that are in these dies are absolutely amazing. Now this does make a 5x7 size card. But it doesn't mean you have to have it be a 5x7 card. These are the dies that you get for the month. So you get 4, and they're very versatile. So you can have the scalloped with the outline. So now you'll have that scalloped piece. You'll be able to have a solid piece with just a scallop border. You can have the 2 solid pieces. And then, of course, you have that beautiful detailed frame that's going to be on the outside. So very versatile, and you can get many images from it. So I've already taken the time to die cut my pieces, and I do have my 5x7 card base ready. Now this was cut 7x10, scored at 5, and this is still going to be a top folding card. Yes, I still managed to make it a top folding card. So what I did with an ivory cardstock, I used the center die, the most center, and I cut 3. I'm going to layer them on top of each other to create that chipboard. I'm going to have other layers here, so I didn't want to add another foam tape layer, but I did want to have more dimension on this. So you can see the other 2 pieces that I cut. So I have a peach, and then I have a coral. So I wanted the peach to have the scalloped edge, and then the coral, I just used the 3rd die. So here is the beautiful frame. Now, you can have this cut a couple different ways. You can cut out that center piece. You don't have to keep that solid piece in there. 1, it'll save your mirror cardstock. And 2, again, you could have that frame raised. You could have your pieces sunk into it. You could cut this in the corners and add it onto a frame. So very versatile. So I chose to keep all of it intact. I didn't want to cut out the center because I know, again, when you have that side view, you'll still be able to see that mirror. So I'm adding my liquid adhesive to all of the small pieces that could possibly come up, and I'm going to set that directly down onto my card base. Again, it's a 5x7. Right now it looks like it's a side folding, but I will be turning that. It will actually turn into a landscape card. For the next layer, I'm going to use some fun foam, and I'm going to apply that to the back, and I'm going to use 3 different pieces because I want to make sure those edges on both sides are also propped up as well, in case when this goes through the mail, the sides won't crash down. So I wanted to make sure that was even. While I've got my fun foam out, I'm going to make sure that I cut another piece for my next layer, which is going to be the piece. And before I put this fun foam onto that piece, I'm going to make sure I grab my ribbon. I want this wrapped around the cardstock. So I will use some double-sided adhesive just to put a couple layers down. And then that's what I'm going to stick my ribbon to. So that it'll stay in place. Now I'll do that on both sides because this bow is actually going to sit off to the side. It's not going to come off the middle of this card. So I'm just going to put that down and then just separate it a little bit just to make it a little wider. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And then just make sure that I made it even. Yes. Because sometimes I can forget. So again, a couple pieces of double-sided tape, and then I'm just going to pull that over to the side, and then just leave those tails there for the time being until the card is set in place. Now that the ribbon is set, now I'm going to put my fun foam behind that as well. Doing the same thing, putting the main piece in the center and then the two side pieces so that those edges don't curl down once it goes through the mail. So now I'm going to real quick emboss my sentiment, and I'm going to use my gold from Recollections. I'm going to use my Simon Says Stamp clear embossing ink, and I'm going to use the stamp set Spread the Love, and it's by Fun Stamper's Journey, and I think it's a really pretty sentiment set. I love the fonts. There are dies that go with that set as well. So I'm going to, again, I'm using my Recollections Gold embossing powder, and I'm going to heat set that until it is all melted. Now you want to make sure that your heat gun is nice and heated, nice and hot for this, because again, you've just taken these 3 layers. It's just liquid adhesive that's putting them together. You don't want this to warp too much. And it does have the potential if your heat gun is not heated up properly. You can see I'm just going to make sure that she's flat again, and just bend her back out. Again, using my liquid adhesive, I'm going to start layering my pieces. So I'm going to center my coral. Now what's nice is on the mirror, you do have time to slide that around. That's why my first choice is a liquid adhesive. Because it does give you that time. The next layer that's going to come in is the peach layer on top of that. And then finally I'm going to use a lot of double-sided tape. And the reason why I'm doing that is, one, in case this did warp a little bit and I'm not seeing it, it's very possible. 2, it's going over not only the cardstock but the ribbon. And I just want to make sure that I have a good adhesive. These 2 layers are good and stuck together. I was trying to say the other word. Let's just go with the principle, stuck. Sorry about that. I could have done that with liquid adhesive, but sometimes with this ribbon, it kind of pulls apart from it. So I didn't want to take that chance. So making sure that's straight, putting pressure. Now I'm going to tie my bow, and it's a painful thing to watch, so I do apologize because I am absolutely horrible at tying bows. I'm not sure what I was checking out there, but there we go. Now I do have to snip that end. I do see that, but that's always because I double up on my I always double up on my ribbons, even if I use twine. I like the look. Sometimes it's single. It all depends on how small I have to get that. But I do enjoy the double bow look. I will separate those out after I trim the edges. And then I will just put a couple glue dots underneath the bow so that it stays nice and full. I always tend to do that as well because you can see it looks crooked. So I will just add a couple of glue dots there. Of course, that's after I separate the bows to make it full. I'm going to come in with my Nouveau Jewel Drops in Rose Water. And I am literally going to fill in all the circles within my gold piece. Now, of course, I will not have you watch all of these because there is a lot. But you can see in the corner, you've got the 5 at each of those points and then the 3 in the center. So I do that all the way around. Now, for me, when I work with my Nouveau drops, I always come down, squeeze, and then I curve the tip of the bottle to break it away from the jar. Yeah, that's why I create that little C. I like a C. So that is our project using the May 2019 Amazing Paper Grace Kit of the Month. I I do hope you enjoyed this project, and I hope I gave you a little bit of inspiration once you get yours. All the products that I used will be linked down below, especially all the links to all of their club kits, value club kits, and everything that they have available. And also know that their awesome spring sale is about to end. 75% off some of the items there. I encourage you to check that out. So again, I'll just put a link down there as well. You don't want to miss that. But I do want to thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please leave those down below. If you haven't already, I would love for you to subscribe, hit that bell so that you know when the next video comes out. I hope everyone's having a great day. Remember, take care, but always remember what's most important for me. Always be creative.